If you want to make more money than you're making right now, you must think differently. And that is what most people don't tell you. So if you want to know how to do it, stay tuned. If this is your first time to this channel, welcome to Think Different Daily, where we tell you all the things about making money online and we tell you the things that most people don't. My name is Jennifer and I am a marketing coach and I help people just like you find easy, practical ways to earn some passive income. So if you're here, like, subscribe, share, and even comment because we're one big happy family and we're all about thinking differently and making that extra passive income. Now, imagine for a moment that you are a college student and you have this bright idea to create a company that will help people all over the world essentially become their own graphic designer. Now, before your company grows to be so big that it's valued at over $48.7 billion, you are met with 100 rejections, 100 no's by investors. Just imagine that for a moment. You meet with 100 investors and you're told no every single time. Now, listen, I can get with one no, maybe five no's, maybe even 25 no's. But after a while, imagine how that wanes on your psychology, just on your whole overall motivation. You've got this bright idea that you know in your NOAA is going to work, but you're at 25 no's and you keep going. What does that tell you? That tells you something about making money. That tells you something about business. That tells you something about entrepreneurship and that it is a marathon and not a sprint. That is the exact story that happened to the CEO of Canva, Melanie Perkins. She had this bright idea as a college student, and when she began to pitch it to different investors, she was met with 100 no's before she got her first yes. Imagine that. One thing about Melanie Perkins is that she knew that she had something great, and whether she was getting no's, she didn't allow that to affect her mindset. Now, I'm sure there were some hard days. I mean, you can look her up and hear her testimony for yourself. She will tell you it was not easy, but she remained persistent. And her story proves that persistence and consistency is key to being successful in creating a stream of income that is passive, that is steady, and that can ultimately change the lifestyle for the better for you and for your family. My husband and I, we talk about as we are relatively new to entrepreneurship, but we've learned a few things along the way, and that you cannot enter this space with a get rich quick scheme type of mindset. If you're trying to make money overnight, if you're trying to become some overnight sensation, this is not for you. He described it this way. He said, imagine giving a set of keys to like a 5-year-old. What are they going to do? The moment they figure out how to put those keys in the ignition, they are going to mash that gas. And it's just a recipe for a disaster. One thing I can tell you that I have learned in my success, and my husband too, because we've been in this together for a few years now. And one thing that we have learned is that the mindset is everything. If you don't have the proper mindset, you're not going to be successful in this area. And we've experienced it for ourselves. And so as we've had success on TikTok as TikTok shop affiliates, one thing that we have learned is like you've got to enter that space knowing, okay, you got to post the video, forget about it, and know that the fruits of your labor will come. You just have to be patient. You got to be patient. And that's actually one of the things that I teach as a marketing coach when I help my clients learn how to make money online right from home. We start out with the 3 M's ecosystem in my course. And I'm telling you, it is such a game changer because it lays the foundation for everything that comes beyond that. I mean, your mindset, honestly, it's much more powerful and valuable than any algorithm, no matter how ripe it is. And we all know that the TikTok algorithm is quite ripe for views, and there's so much potential and opportunity to earn money on TikTok. I'll give it to you this way, right? Because we've all been in a house. We all know, and whether you've built one, you know that a house, it starts from the ground up. And the foundation of the home is paramount. So if the foundation is fractured, if it's rushed, it's going to affect the rest of the house. No matter how good that house looks on the outside, no matter how maintained the grass is, the paint on the building, it doesn't matter. You could have the nicest patio furniture, your backyard is immaculate with a grill and a pool, even. No matter how nice it is, when that storm comes, when those strong winds come through, that house, it's destined to be destroyed. No matter how you frame it, when the storm comes, because the foundation is fractured, it's going to impact that house from the top down. So it's so important when we're talking about mindset, the same is true for your mind. Your mind has to be so solid, it has to be so sound, it has to have intentional, focused, and positive thoughts throughout. It's not if the storm comes, it's a matter of when it comes. And so when that storm comes, when you're trying to earn passive income, when you're entering new territory that you have never experienced before, and things start to go in a way that you did not expect, you have to have a strong mindset so that you are not shook. You're not moved by whatever it is that comes your way because you're already ready. Your mind is set, you're strong, you know that this is the end goal. You're going to reverse engineer that goal. And no matter what comes your way, you know that this thing is possible. I don't know if you've seen these videos floating around TikTok, but being that I am a marketing coach and I help people make money on TikTok, I see a lot of content on TikTok. And one of the videos that I see a lot, it's this guy who goes into neighborhoods and he knocks on the door, and immediately what you see is a yard that is a hot mess. I mean, there's weeds and grass and trees and debris and all sorts of stuff in this yard. And so he's inquiring from the neighbors to figure out who lives there if nobody is there. And then ultimately, he records his entire makeover of this yard. And I'll be honest with you, doing yard work was one of my least favorite things to do growing up. And so here we are all these years later. And now I watch these videos of this guy changing. I mean, it's like a complete, it's night and day what he's able to do. But my point in sharing this is it's a great reminder and even an example of what can take place in our minds if we don't take care of those thoughts that are there. It can grow weeds. Weeds can grow, debris can fill. It can just be full of junk in our minds if we aren't doing like what this man is doing. He's going around, he's making sure that these yards are taken care of, they're nice and manicured, and it's so amazing to see how appreciative people are when he finishes. It's hard work. And did I mention he's doing this without being paid? At least not from the person who lives in the house, and certainly not from the houses that he manicures that are completely abandoned. So what am I saying? You don't want to abandon these thoughts that float around in your mind, because that then allows room for weeds to grow, and it allows room for junk to live and exist in your mind. And so when that storm comes, that's what's going to be there, right? You're not going to be able to fight that storm to withstand the storm because your mind isn't ready. It's not prepared. So one of the things that I just wish more people would tell you, because when you watch these videos about making money online and passive income and all of these things, that's one thing that I don't hear enough. And I think it should be talked about more, which is why we're talking about it here on Think Different Daily. I mentioned to you that I have helped a number of people make money on TikTok, and their minds have been blown just, with the extra cash that they see. And here's the thing, the 3-step simple strategy that I have, not only did it work for them, but I tried it on myself first. I was my own guinea pig, and it worked. It worked for me. And as a result, I've created this training. I have a training for you. It's free. I've linked it in the description box below. Check it out. It doesn't cost anything for you to check it out. And you can learn more about how I did it, how I helped other people do it. And I'm telling you, it will be a game changer for you. So don't miss out on that. In all of the success that my husband and I have had, generating our own passive income, creating new streams of income, the confidence that has been there, and the actual money. Because at the end of the day, right, that's why we were doing what we were doing. As grateful as I am for that extra money, I'm even more grateful for the mindset shift, because now our minds are set. We've turned the dial in our minds in such a way that we know that we can rinse and repeat what has worked really well. When we find something that works, we work the daylights out of it. And so, because our minds are set to the right temperature, we know that we can get in this business and we can scale it. We can make more income. And that is something that we have continued to do, create multiple streams of income. So I say all of that to say, while the money is important and it's something that we all desire, it's something that we need day to day. What we have valued even more is the shift that has come with our minds. And it took us some time to get there, but now that we are there, there is no turning back. If you made it this far in this video, I appreciate you. We so appreciate you. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't done that already, and drop a comment below. I want to leave you with something to think about, because a lot of times when we're entering new territory, especially when we're talking about money, it can be overwhelming. And I'd like to remind people that there are things that you have done already in your life that have been really that have been amazing, and it took a certain mindset for you to get there. So I want you to take a moment to think about something that you have achieved, that you were really proud of, that you were excited about, maybe something you didn't think that you could do. How were you consistent? How were you persistent? What was the mindset that you had in achieving that? I'll go first. The first thing that comes to mind for me is when I went to college. It's easy to look at it now when you're on the other side of it. You're walking across that stage with your college degree, but my goodness, all of the work that went into even getting into college, right? And the applications and having the right grades and extracurricular activities. There were so many things, so many steps that I had to take. And it took a certain mindset to get there. So I want you to think about what that is in your life and cherish it, because that is motivation. That is confirmation that you can do this. Making money online, while there's lots of ways that you can go about it, you got to start with your mindset. So I want to leave you with that, and drop a comment. Let me know what that thing is so we can talk about it. But until next time, I'll see you later.